Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I recondition all of the wood utensils and cutting boards that I use routinely in my kitchen. My process has changed a little bit over the years, mainly what type of finish I use. So if your stuff's looking a little washed out like mine is, this video is for you. So you're going to need some kind of sander. You can hand sand, but something like this Festool is going to save you a lot of time. And then you're going to need a food-safe oil of your choice. I will give you a top recommendation in this video that I think is good for everybody and pretty foolproof too. So getting started here, I'm going to put some of these utensils into my vise. This is the first angled spatula that I ever made. You may have seen some like them in a recent video where I showed you how to make these. I've actually listed a lot of these on Etsy and they have sold out routinely and I can't really keep up with them. I'm sorry guys, I'll get them stocked again eventually. So now we got to take a second and think about what our goals are. Do we just want these to pop again? Are we okay with the knife marks on the cutting boards? Are we okay with the little scratches? If so, we're going to stick with a lighter grit like 220 the whole time. We're going to embrace all those knife marks. And we're just really going to get more oil into the piece to protect it from water and make it sturdy. Honestly, you really don't have to sand these. I prefer to sand them lightly, even though it's mostly about the oil, because I think a sanded piece will kind of absorb the oil more evenly. I'm taking a moment to take an old t-shirt over to the workbench and clamp it down because that's going to make it a lot easier to sand these cutting boards. They're not going to walk away as much and they're not going to get scratched as soon as I flip them over to the other side. So with the cutting boards you really need to make a choice. Do you want to make it look completely new or are you okay with knife marks? If you want to make them look completely new, you might want to go down to a lower grit, maybe start with a 120, but you better be sure that you have enough material on the board. It needs to be a thick board if you're going to play this game over and over. My preference is to preserve the material that's there, so the board stays the same shape pretty much its whole life. So I stick to higher grits, I welcome the knife marks, I add to the knife marks. I have a couple boards that have really clean chamfers from a router bit and I want to preserve those, so I'm using a very stiff sanding block and trying to follow them. I'm counting my passes. I'm doing 2 or 3 on each chamfer. So I used to recommend mineral oil, but it washes out extremely quickly. It does not harden or polymerize within the piece. This linseed oil beeswax mixture from Tried and True is really good for kitchen stuff, I think. Tung oil is probably the best, but it takes forever to cure and you gotta get it just right. This stuff I think is a lot easier to apply and provides a similar protection. It also looks better because of the beeswax, but you got to keep that wax spread out, and I will show you a technique to get a really nice finish with this wax toward the end of the video. So like with other oil-based finishes, we want to think of this as pretty much a 3-step process. You want to get this stuff on in a layer that is slightly excessive, basically just a little extra, and what's going to happen is step 2, you're going to allow that board to drink in the oil. For this stuff, I recommend half an hour to an hour. Manufacturer recommends a clean hour. Once that's done, you're going to come back with a clean cloth and you're going to buff everything completely dry, or as dry as you can get it. Soft circles is good. It'll spread that wax out. And then you're going to let it cure for 24 hours minimum. This is where I really prefer this stuff over tung oil, because after a day I cannot smell the linseed oil or the beeswax really, and things have clearly started to polymerize. The oil will actually harden up in the piece over time. Tung oil will do that as well. It might end up hardier at the end of the day, but it can take up to months for tung oil to completely cure. You need a lot of air movement. You really need to prime the space for ventilation if you're going to use tung oil. So I would prefer to get multiple coats of the linseed oil, also a polymerizing oil on there. Walnut oil is another popular option. Same reason though, for me it takes a very, very long time to cure relative to the linseed. So I got to stick with the linseed personally. Let me know what your favorite is in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. I always learn from you too. This next board is one of our original designs that we sold at craft fairs for a while. It's got tigerwood, it's got purple heart and cherry in it. Pretty unique board. It's about 8 years old at this point, and you can tell by the knife marks it's probably the one that's been used in my kitchen the most. Here we are a little after, just letting everything soak in. We're gonna give this a full hour. Allow these boards to drink in as much oil as possible. You can see they're not dripping wet, but they have an excess amount of oil on them, so they can continue to drink it in over that hour. Alright, it's been an hour. It's time to buff them dry with a clean cloth. I like to pick a bigger clean cloth. I just find it's faster. It's like, it respects my time a little more, you know, to have the clean cloth part be excess. The oil comes off faster if you do that. If you have a tiny little cloth and it's getting saturated all the time, it might take a while to get these completely dry. But you want to shoot for a dry feel, definitely no splotchy areas before we give these guys the final cure. If you leave too much of this stuff on there, these are going to get a little gummy and it's going to be hard to get them completely dry. You saw me putting some of these in my vise and using the power sander, but for the most part I hand sanded these, especially the bowls on the inside of the spoons. Same process though, 220 for the most part. Excess oil, let them drink, buff it off. Here's what these cutting boards look like after their 24-hour cure. They're looking pretty nice, but I'm going to show you a technique in a little bit here that's going to spread that layer of wax out and make it look even nicer. Here's a look at the utensils after they cured up a little bit. You might recognize these from some previous videos. These big spoons are some of the first that I ever made for myself. They're kind of half carved, half sanded. Didn't really know what I was doing, but they're practical nonetheless, and I love them. This little guy is from one of our most popular videos where we made the spurtles. If you don't know what a spurtle is, man, you gotta watch the video. And then you'll probably just disagree with me on what a spurtle is. The cherry holds up fantastic in the kitchen. I'm really pleased with it. I'm going to be making more stuff out of cherry for sure. This spoon is after I learned to carve a little better. I used a bent gouge and a spoke shave. This is a 100% carved spoon until I just sanded it for this video. Very pleased with this one. Definitely going to aim for that design in the future. This is the first angled spatula that I ever made. I made it for myself, and I kind of refined the design for the spatulas that I posted on Etsy and showed you how to make in a recent video. This guy has been in my kitchen for a long time now. It's got its own patina even before I put this oil on, but the handle got a lot nicer looking after the refinishing process. You now have a layer of wax on these boards, and if you can spread it around nicely, everything will get glossier and the finish will be better. So I use this brown paper packing material. It's like this honeycomb stretchy stuff. And the manufacturer recommends steel wool, but that disintegrates and I do not want that in any of my utensils or cutting boards. Soft circles with this stuff or just regular brown paper will go a long way. I don't know if you'll be able to see it in this shot, but the wax is now more spread out, the finish is more even, everything is shinier, glossier, and just more professional looking. Given how everything looked in the beginning, I'm very pleased with how all this came out. It's going to hold up better, it's going to repel water better in the future. But no matter what food safe finish we pick, we're probably going to have to repeat this process multiple times in the future. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you got something out of this. Please ask any questions you have in the comments, and appreciate all the support. Take care.